Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing an apartment renovation for the Karaoke Legends household in Myshuno. I currently feel really awkward recording this voiceover because it's been a very long time since I've done a voiceover, because I didn't even realize it until I literally just checked to see when I last uploaded a video, and it was in February of this year. So it's been like quite a few months since I've last uploaded a video, and I don't know, I might talk about that a little bit more towards the end of this video, but I don't know, I feel kind of awkward right now recording a voiceover, and I did kind of think about like making a little script, but I never write scripts when I'm doing a voiceover. I just like kind of go off the top of my head. So if you're new here and it might sound like I'm jumping all over the place, I'm sorry, but I don't know, that's just the way that I do things. And I feel like if I have to like I feel like I procrastinate enough, and if I have to write a script, then I feel like I would never get around to getting back to making videos again. I actually didn't plan on having this be my first video back. I actually had a different build idea planned like ahead of time, because like I said, it's been like a couple months since I've last uploaded a video, and in that meantime I've kind of like been going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to continue making videos and uploading on YouTube, and or if I just wanted to like go back to playing The Sims like on my own time and like just enjoying it on my own. And while I was doing that, I was working on builds that I did not record, and like it would be like halfway through me working on that build and I would be like, oh my goodness, this build turned out really nice and I wish I had recorded it and maybe did something with it. And so what ended up happening is I actually ended up with like a few different builds like that, where I started it, got almost completely done with the build, realized that the build really looked nice and wish I had made a video about it, and realized I didn't. So I had a few builds that are not finished yet and I didn't know what I was going to do with them, and I thought maybe like it would be a good idea for my first video back to kind of finish those builds up and maybe like talk about where I've been and why I haven't uploaded anything in a while. But that didn't happen, and this was a video. Actually, hold on, let me go ahead and check and see when I started this build. I just checked my files, and the first part of me like building this apartment, it started in the beginning of June and we're almost at the end of July. So basically what happened was I did get the inspiration to want to come back at the beginning of June. So I started on this build intending that I would be getting back into recording and making videos for YouTube again. But I don't know what happened in June. I don't know. Things have just gotten super busy and like hectic. But for some reason I did not finish like this build in June. I actually finished it a couple weeks ago, or not, maybe a week ago, I think. But I thought it would be like a good idea to not include this build in the other video idea that I had of finishing up builds that I started off camera, because I actually started this build on camera. So I had like the full like footage of this build, and also I felt like it would take me a little bit more time to finish up those builds, and I really wanted to get back into making videos and uploading them on YouTube. So I was like, this build would take the least amount of time to finish up, so I'm going to come back with this video, and then the next video that I will probably upload will be me finishing up builds that I started off camera, but I'm going to finish them up on camera, and it's going to be like a compilation. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's going to be something like that. But with this build, I started by pretty much deleting every single item. I was kind of like strategic with deleting the items, because usually when I do a renovation, I just completely delete everything. But I did think that some things that they had were valuable. So the things that I thought would be valuable that I didn't want to have to buy again, I did put in their inventory. There was some things that were valuable, but I just didn't see myself keeping. Like they did have that like super fancy talking toilet, I think, in this apartment, and I don't like those toilets. I think they're kind of weird. Maybe in community lots I'm okay with them, but I don't know, for some reason I don't like the way that they look. Maybe in a future build I'll try to use them in something or give them some type of purpose, but usually I will go like, I don't know, 9 times out of 10 if I'm doing a build and I'm using a toilet, I just go with like the first base game toilet, and I just pick either a white or a black swatch, and I kind of like just stick with that. But I remember I kept the computer because Akira, he is in the programming career, I think. And so I felt like it would be useful. I did end up deleting it because by the time I got rid of all the furniture that came with this apartment, I did have like 30,000 simoleons, and that is a lot of simoleons to decorate and furnish an apartment. But I've come to realize that I am not good with budgets in The Sims or in real life. Like when it comes to budgeting, that is not for me. I am very, very impulsive, and like when it comes to building, I kind of actually think I know what I need to do to kind of get better at budgeting. I think what happens with me is when I am building, I kind of usually go from room to room and decorate, and by doing so, like I want the room to be completely finished before I like move on to another room. And I think in order to get better at doing like budget friendly builds, I kind of have to like get the basics in the room and kind of like move on, and then whatever simoleons I have left, I can use that to decorate a little bit more. I do want to get better at doing budget builds because I do plan on like doing that for future save files and stuff. But for this one, I did stick to the budget that I had for like after I deleted all of their furniture. Somehow, some way, I was able to stay. I think by the end of this build, I think they might have had 16 simoleons left. And that, I think I did end up deleting the computer. Like after all that, they still didn't even have a computer in this apartment. And at first, I think I can't remember if I deleted the karaoke machine or not. I think originally I wasn't going to put the karaoke machine in here, but then I was like, this household is called the Karaoke Legends household, and I just felt like it wasn't right for them to not have a karaoke machine. So what I kind of ended up doing, and you'll see it when I get there, but like the bottom area, well actually let me talk about the apartment, because the original apartment, I didn't actually think that I had changed that much about the apartment like by the time I was finished with everything, because that's kind of like the case with most apartments in San Myshuno. Like I always feel like I didn't really change anything because I feel like I kind of struggle a bit with creating like new and unique layouts. Usually like I feel like the layouts that come with the apartments, I don't know, like I feel like they're almost like made for that apartment, so I always end up feeling like I didn't really change that much when it comes to the apartment. So like in my mind, because for me when it comes to building, it's easy for me to like in order to do a build, like I have to have like some kind of story in mind. And actually this rug, I kept it in because it's actually funny, because I feel like I'm also a super slow builder because I'm super indecisive, and I'm pretty good when it comes to like cutting these kind of things out of the video, of like me just like going back and forth between a lot of things. But I was trying to make this rug work and I couldn't make it work. Maybe in another video I'll try to make that rug work, but I kind of felt like it was really nice and kind of fit the vibes of the people who live here, because well actually I don't think the downstairs really fits any of their vibes. The only one I think it fits is maybe like Akira, but I was kind of thinking that like this was like a move-in ready apartment pretty much, or essentially it was. Maybe not the whole apartment, but like I'm like going back to what I was trying to say earlier, is that like when it comes to doing apartment renovations or any type of renovation or any type of build, for me I have to have like some type of story in mind for the Sims living there. And so for this one and all the apartments in San Myshuno, I was thinking of like, okay, so if this apartment was owned by one landlord, they would like have kind of like the same feel. And because this is like a pretty modern apartment, like I'm thinking like I think it's in the fashion district. So I feel like the fashion district is going to have apartments that are actually, I was thinking that like they look new and modern, but they're not really. Like the landlord probably fixed it up to some extent to make it look nice, but it's actually not really worth the money that it costs. But because it's in the fashion district and they did a few renovations that might look nice but actually aren't all that nice, I plan on kind of like giving maybe the apartment next to this one like a similar vibe. But I was thinking that like this was like a move-in ready apartment, so pretty much all the furniture, not all the furniture, but like most of the furniture came with this apartment, especially the furniture downstairs. Probably all of that came with the apartment. And then like also for me, it's pretty realistic. Like most apartments that I know, you're not really allowed to pick the flooring and the wallpaper and stuff that usually comes with the apartment. I know on like TikTok you see like people like renovating and changing things around in their apartment. I don't know like how common that is for like everyone, but I know like for most apartments you're not really able to do that. Like you kind of like have to, I don't know, take what you're given. Like you have to base your furniture around what the flooring and stuff already is, because you're not allowed to change it. So the vibe that I kind of went with is that the downstairs is like the furniture that came with the apartment, and then upstairs is where we get more in depth with their like personality, and you get to see their personality, their individual personality shine through, especially in their own individual rooms. Because I actually, before I did this renovation, I actually gave them all makeovers, because when, like I mentioned before, I had been trying to play The Sims off camera a little bit, like on my own free time, and I was like going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to make videos or not. But I did make a Sim. I didn't get really far in their story, because I don't know what it is about The Sims 4, but like for me, I can't really get into gameplay. Like I can't just like jump into a game, like a new save file, and like just start playing. Like I feel like before I can really get into gameplay, I have to completely redo the world, at least the world that the Sim is living in a majority of the time. So for my Sim, she lives in say Myshuno, so I kind of want to at least do like community lots. I try so hard to get my Sims out of their house and make the world as feel like as lived in as possible. So I want to at least completely do all the community lots in San Myshuno and like give her places to go to and travel to. So I feel like ideally San Myshuno and probably Willow Creek. I've done a few community lots for her to go to in Willow Creek. And the reason why I'm doing this household specifically is because I plan on having my Sim make friends with, well, I think she's already friends with Akira, and I'm trying to stay away from it, but I don't know what it is. But like every time I play in San Myshuno, like especially if I have like I don't know, like my Sim needs a love interest, it's always Akira. And like sometimes it's Salim, but mostly it's Akira. And I'm also trying to like kind of stay away from like immediately making Akira her love interest, but I'm also trying to make her friends with Miko, and also Darling. I actually did a makeover before I started working on this renovation, because I don't know what it is about this household. Like it was kind of weird. Like I know that like their description points to Miko and Akira having like some type of crush or whatever, but you know, of course they don't have any type of relationship with each other. But like I never understood like Darling's story and like why they were there and why they are a teen living with two young adults who are of no relation to each other. So when I did their makeover, I did turn Darling into a young adult, and in my mind maybe Akira and Miko are like a little bit older, like maybe in their mid almost late 20s, because they are like established in their careers. Like usually when I start a new save file, also if I don't feel like playing with university, I usually kind of stay away from like traditional jobs, because like I don't know, I have like certain rules I give myself when I play The Sims, and one of those is that like in order to get the job that they want, like an actual job, like they have to go through university first. So I think the Sim that I'm playing with, they are an aspiring photographer, so I think they actually do have a job. I think that they're in the fashion career right now, but I feel like they want to eventually venture out and actually take photographs or become an artist and open their own studio. I feel like that's like my MO. Like that's usually the way that I play. For some reason, I either play with artists or like people who want to open up their own bakery or something, or restaurant or something like that. I don't know why. Like that's my favorite way of playing. But I've never really pursued like having a Sim who wants to like open their own photography studio. And right now she's of course friends with Akira, and he's a potential love interest. And the way that I see the friendship between my sim and Miko working out is Miko is kind of like their muse, almost like their model. Like she has a male friend and a female friend, and they are like modeling for her. And I don't know if I'm gonna actually play with this household, but ever since like I gave them all makeovers and have done their house, I kind of do want to play with them a little bit. Like I mentioned, I kind of see Akira and Miko being like a little bit older, like in their mid to late 20s, but Darling, they are in their like very, very early adult stage, so maybe like 19 at the youngest, because I feel like if you get any younger it's kind of weird. But maybe they are still like a university student, and maybe they were like in foster, like I don't know, I kind of take things kind of crazy far, but like I kind of saw Darling as maybe being like a foster kid. And I think Miko, she does work in like social work or something, or politics or something like that, but Darling was like a foster kid, and she like aged out of foster care. And because like San Myshuno is like the city and things can be kind of rough, I kind of see like Miko is like taking Darling in to live with them and like kind of get themselves on their feet instead of like struggling on their own. But one thing that I really wanted to make sure that I did was give them all their own rooms, because I think originally Akira, he was the only one who had his own room, and I think Miko and Darling, they shared a room. And when I redid the floor plan, I was able to give every one of them their own rooms. Their rooms are kind of small. I think I gave the biggest room to Miko, and she also has like her own bathroom. And Darling and Akira, they share a bathroom together. I think I already mentioned this, but the vibes that I was going for the downstairs was like, well, I think the whole apartment ended up being like kind of like modern feeling, but I don't know, I kind of wanted this apartment to feel like it is like the upgraded apartment that every young adult who wants to feel like they've made it would want. So yeah, I wanted it to kind of have like a modern feel. Oh, my little air thing went off. I'm not gonna edit that out. And when I gave Akira his makeover, because I feel like the downstairs really reflects his personal style the most, because like when I gave him his makeover, I don't know if I'm gonna make like a full video of their makeover or if I might post it in shorts, but with Akira, like I don't know, he kind of gives me like dark and mysterious vibes. I think originally he kind of like had an all black outfit, so I kind of went even further with that, and like that's kind of like the vibe for all of his outfits. He kind of like goes for like a darker feel, but I really wanted this space, like especially downstairs, it's more like the formal area. So like I said, like this is like the fashion district, so I feel like the Sims who live here really care about their appearance, and by appearance I don't mean like just how they dress, but like also how they present themselves to other people. And this is me, like I went ahead and put the little karaoke thing back in this apartment. I can't remember if I had to rebuy it or if I had deleted it originally and put it in their inventory. I can't really remember what I did, but like I said, with my sim, I kind of want the sim that I plan on having, like playing within San Myshuno, like coming here pretty often and like just coming here to hang out and like sing karaoke. So like this downstairs area is like more like, you know, they're kind of like space where they invite people to come and hang out, and they like host parties and stuff, and that's why they're called the Karaoke Legends, because maybe to their neighbors they're like super annoying because they're, you know, they're called the Karaoke Legends, but the reason why they are legends is it's more like because they're infamous rather than being like famous, but like they're infamous for like having a bunch of people over and singing really bad karaoke, except for I think Miko and Akira, they're both really good at karaoke, so maybe that's why they are, you know, called the Karaoke Legends, because they're really good at karaoke. But I feel like if you were their neighbor, and even if they are good at singing, I feel like it would get like pretty annoying. I also kind of like went with like a lot of, I don't know if it's like Japanese inspired art and decorations, but I think with like The Sims, I don't think they use like a specific, like I don't think they went with like specific Japanese or specifically Korean or specifically Southeast Asian. I feel like it's kind of like a blend of all of them together to kind of like give representation to all of them. And I'm not really sure if Akira and Miko, I think Miko might be Japanese, but I'm not sure about Akira. They are Asian, so I kind of like went with that influence. And even though Darling, I don't think they are Asian, but because I kind of saw like Akira and Miko, they were living here originally on their own, and like maybe Darling just moved in. Maybe Darling hasn't been living there that long, which is why you don't really see their influence on the apartment that much, except for like upstairs in their own personal room. They also do have like a balcony space, and I was trying to turn that into like more of like a workout area, because Darling, I see them as being like into sports and like basketball, but I do see like Miko and Akira also going out there to work out. But like I kind of saw like the outdoor patio is more like Darling's thing, because they might be more into working out than the other two. But I kind of felt like I wasn't able to do too much with the outdoor patio area, because that's when I was really starting to struggle for money. I also think later on in this build, I ended up taking away the TV down here and also the little gaming station downstairs, and I think I ended up putting it upstairs because I don't know if I showed it. Maybe I'm about to start working on it here, but right now I'm about to like start working on the floor plan of this apartment. And I kind of, because I was trying to give them all their own room, and I think originally too, like the way that the rooms were put in here, like I think it was like Akira's room, like the only way you could get to the outdoor space was through the bedroom, and I didn't really want to have that. Like I wanted like the outdoor area to be just like accessible to everyone, and you wouldn't have to like go through a bedroom to get to it. So like I ended up with like this kind of weird space, like it was like a lot of space, but I wasn't really sure what to do with it. So I think what I ended up doing was like I kind of made like another living room area, but this is like the living room. So like I can't remember like the name. I think when growing up, like there would be like 2 living rooms, and like it would always confuse me like when the grown-ups would like explain it to me, because like they would call one, I can't remember which one is which though, but they would call like one a living room and one a family room. And I believe like one of the rooms were like not, you're like you were not really supposed to go in there as a kid. Like the grown-ups didn't want you to go in there, because that's where they put all like their nice furniture and stuff, and they didn't want you to mess it up. And I never really understood it. Like maybe now as a grown-up, I still don't really get it, but I do want one. Like I want to have a room where like it has all my nice stuff and like nobody's able to sit in there. But as a kid, I didn't really understand it. But then the other room was like the room where you're supposed to, like the room that has the nice furniture that the kids aren't supposed to go into. That was like supposed to be like your hosting room. Like it's the room that like if you have guests, that's the room that you're supposed to have your guests come and sit down, and you're supposed to, you know, talk with them or whatever. And then the other room, I can't remember if that's the living room or the family room, but that's like the room that like the family, like the basic family, is supposed to like hang out and watch TV and play and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like what I was going for with this apartment. So like the living room downstairs is like the hosting room. If you're not super close with this household or the people in there, and they just like invite you to come hang out and sing karaoke, that's where you're going to be. But like the upstairs space, like where there's like an awkward space, I ended up turning that into like the more lived in living room. Like this is where they come up here to hang out the most. Like this is where, because I feel like they're all kind of like busy with their own thing. Like Darling, I kind of see them as maybe going back to college and doing that. Akira, he's like in his career as a programmer. Miko, she's in the politics career. So they're all like kind of busy. So like the room that's like in the middle, like where they kind of like knock into each other the most, is like that middle space that I'm going to create eventually. But this room right here is Akira's room, and Okay, so let me go back because in my little break, well, actually, this started before I kind of took my break, but like in my break of like not posting any videos on YouTube, I got like super duper deep into K-pop. It's kind of like become one of my special interests, and so one of my, well, I would say like I feel like, can you have like multiple groups? Because I feel like in K-pop, like you really kind of like, you might start off, like I did start off with one group in particular, and I got into another group, and like since I got into that group, they've like taken up a majority of my life. But basically like that I'm not, do I want to say, fine, my group is BTS and my bias is Jungkook, and I kind of like went with like that dark vibe for Akira's room where like everything is like dark, and but I don't know, I feel like he's not like a dark person. Like maybe like on the outside he might appear that way, but he's really nice and silly on the inside once you like really get to know him a little bit more. Because he does, like, I feel like he does have like that duality, like that two sides to him. Like maybe I kind of see him as like, I don't know, like I wonder like what his backstory would be, why he got into singing karaoke, because he is a good karaoke singer. He has a really nice voice, and maybe like that's like his true passion is creating and singing, but he kind of got into programming because that was like an actual career path for him, and maybe it was like expected of him. Maybe he does want to be successful and have nice things, and so he kind of pursued the programming track because that's going to get him those things. And I also I did give him like the coach, I think it's like a suitcase, but you can use it as like a dresser. But I see him as like liking nice things. Like I see him as like liking designer clothes and having like really nice expensive products like cologne and other stuff. And I feel like he's also kind of like a little bit of a nerd, so he wants to have a nice job and I feel like that's like the ultimate goal, like honestly, as an adult, like because I feel like I mentioned, I've kind of like gotten super deep into K-pop, and I feel like part of becoming an adult, like I don't know, like maybe for other adults is different. Like maybe your number one goal in life is to pursue like the bigger car or the bigger house or whatever, but I feel like for me personally, my goal is to be financially stable enough so that I can fully go super deep when it comes to my special interests. Like I can spend as much money as I want on K-pop albums and merch and not feel guilty or regret my decisions. I feel like that is my ultimate goal. Like that's what make me feel like I made it as an adult. But with Darling's room, I wasn't really sure about what I wanted to do for their room because I haven't really played with this household and I don't really know that much about Darling. I think for their room, I kind of wanted to go for a more chill vibe. Like I don't know, like okay, so I don't know if Darling is non-binary or not. I try not to give them like a label or anything like that because I don't know, like I was thinking about it when I was doing their makeover and I was, just thinking about them and how their room would be, but I don't know if they really have a preference. Like I don't think that they have like a preference when it comes to their pronouns. I know I've been calling them they, but I think they wouldn't really care if you refer to them as a she or he or they. I don't think that they would personally care. Like for me, growing up in the community that I grew up around, like I don't know, like I grew up around like a lot of people who were born like female and they like just like to dress masculine, and like it's not really like, I don't know, we don't get like super like in depth about like their pronouns. Like they just are who they are and they just dress how like whatever makes them feel comfortable. But anyway, for their room, I did end up using some items that I got from a maker kit. I don't know, I have like in my little break too, I haven't really been kind of like I try to stay away from it anyway. Like I don't really care to get super into like Sims 4 news and stuff like that. Like every now and then I'll like go and see things, but like from what I have seen, I know like a lot of people complained about like the maker kits or whatever they're called in the, what is it, the moolah, is that what it's called, like the Sims version of Robux. I know a lot of people like complained about it, but like I think I got these things for, did I pay for them? I might have. Like every now and then I'll go in there and check and see what they have, but like most of the time I don't get anything unless it's something that I really want. I feel like for me personally, I don't think that it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it if you're not able to download mods, and I'm also someone who primarily chooses to play with no mods or CC. That's mostly because I am lazy, because I will literally like download mods and CC, but like when it comes to actually putting them in my game, like going through my files and like adding them into my mod folder, for some reason I won't do it. Like it's like, I don't know, it's like that part of this process I just don't feel like doing it. So I guess in that sense the maker packs are worth it, because you just, you know, add some moolah to your account and then you just click download and it's already in your game and there's not that extra step. But I feel like honestly, if you don't want to get the moolah and get the makers kits, I honestly feel like CC is definitely worth it. Just get the CC, don't pay for makers kits unless you have like a creator that you really want to support. Yeah, then you can do it, but like I would just say get the CC, even though I don't really play with CC like that. But I don't know, I've been thinking about adding some CC and like some mods to my gameplay, but like I said, I downloaded some things a couple days ago and I just never added them to my actual game. I think this desk that I'm putting in Miko's room, I think that was also a maker kit, but I think that one was free. But I really like this desk because, for one, there's like so many slots on it that you can put stuff on, and I feel like that's something that I kind of like struggle with when it comes to builds, is that like there's certain items in the game that like I feel like should have more slots, like in terms of like stuff you can put stuff on. Like I don't know, I be feeling like this is an item that you should be able to put stuff on, but it won't let you. But this, I don't know who made this, but I feel like it has like a lot of different slots that you can put stuff on, like even those little cubby things that look like bookshelves you can put stuff on. But for Miko's room, I went for it like a super girly vibe, because I don't know what it is, but like when I did Miko's makeover, that's also the vibe that I went for, because like I said, I think they're in the political career, so I think they either want to become like a social worker or get into politics. I'm not sure which one, but I thought it'd be kind of funny if like, because the politics, if you think of a politician, like they're like super serious and like, I don't know, like I don't like most politicians. I think most of them are like evil anyway. But what if Miko is a politician but she's actually not evil, and she's not like, or she doesn't have the same appearance as most politicians? So I was like, what if I made her like super cute and like girly, but like she's actually like, maybe that could like make her opponents in the political world kind of like doubt her, or like not take her as seriously, but she's actually should be taken seriously because she's really passionate about what she does and stuff. And I kind of wish, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but like originally in her room before, she had like these posters, and I can't remember where the posters came from, but I kind of wish I had put them back in here, but I didn't. And I also use this bid that came, I think it came with the pastel pop kit, and I really like the bid, but like I kind of have a hard time figuring out how and where to use it. Like when I was putting it in her room, I was kind of like having doubts. I was like, I don't know if I want to use this bid because it is kind of a lot. It's a little overstimulating, I feel like, a little bit, but like I feel like it matched her personality. And I feel like it would actually work really well, like if you were doing a kid's room, like a kid who like literally a kid sim who like has like a really big room all to themselves, and like they're super spoiled and they can like have anything that they want. Because I feel like this is a bit like growing up when you would watch like Nickelodeon or Disney Channel and you saw like the main character's room and stuff, like their rooms were like super decorated to the max, and like I always wanted one of their rooms, and I feel like this bid would like fit into that kind of room, like the room that you always wanted to have as a kid. But I also saw like Miko's also being kind of nerdy like Akira, so maybe that's like something that they bond over and stuff. And I feel like if I had to play with this household, um like I know like the game, like they imply that like there's like a thing between Akira and Miko, but I kind of hate that. Like, don't imply something to me and you don't even like put in the work to build up their relationship. Like they barely know anything, and I feel like that annoys me to the point where like I'm gonna do the exact opposite, and like they're not gonna be anything. There's nothing going on there's no implied relationship or crush or anything. They're just friends, they're just roommates, and that's it. And I actually think that Miko isn't even attracted to Akira like that. I think she likes girls. And I think I do something like similar to that with the what is it, the BFF household, because there's also an implied love triangle between the Travis, Liberty, and Summer. But again, it annoys me again. Like I'm not gonna do that. There's no love triangle. There's no love triangle. They're just roommates, barely. Actually, when I go and do the Willow Creek save file, I'm not even gonna have them live together. They're gonna live in their own separate apartments. I'm gonna turn that house into like an apartment, and like maybe they might meet each other and maybe they'll become friends somehow, some way. But no, I'm not doing that. But with Miko's room, I also did change my rules a little bit, and like I said, in a real apartment, it's really unrealistic for you to like change up the walls, the flooring. I also did use carpets in the bedrooms, which I don't really do that often because usually in my bedrooms I like to put a rug down, and I was kind of like not sure if I wanted to put a carpet in the rooms because I always feel weird about it. I don't know why. Like, it doesn't matter because it's not real in The Sims, but I feel like in real life, I don't know how common it is to like put a rug on top of carpet. Maybe you would. I feel like especially in an apartment that would definitely make more sense because it kind of like protects the carpet from getting messed up, like if you accidentally spill a drink or something. But I don't know why, I just feel kind of weird about it. But I tried to like kind of push past that feeling and just went ahead and put rugs in the bedrooms anyway, even though I use carpet. But I also did break one of my rules because in my mind I kind of saw Miko is like not really, I didn't really like the wallpaper in her room. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. So like in my mind I kind of like pretended that the wallpaper that I use for her room, it's not like real, like she didn't paint it, it's like that peel and stick stuff, and that's something that I kind of wanted to do, but I'm honestly scared. Like I see TikToks of people doing it all the time, like they use that peel and stick stuff, and then that like they'll show that, see, it's so easy, it peels right off and it didn't mess up anything. But I feel like if I tried it, like I would be the one to like it would mess up for, and that would be like horrible. And we are approaching like the end of this build. Well, not really, because I think there's like about like 10 minutes left of it. And I feel like that's one thing that kind of like I was procrastinating on. Well, it was making me procrastinate on doing this voiceover for this speed build because it did end up being like 50 minutes long, and I didn't know what I would talk about for like that amount of time, but somehow I was able to like fill in that space. I don't know if any of it made sense or if it was cohesive or not, but I don't know. I just kind of rambled on, and now we are here almost at the end of this build. I thought about cutting out the bathroom. I feel like I always cut out the bathrooms because I feel like they're not really necessary to see. I don't know, I feel like it's very rare that you're able to like make an innovative bathroom. Like you just need a shower or a sink, a toilet, and that's pretty much it. Or a bathtub maybe. But I went ahead and left the bathrooms in because I kind of thought you could like see the contrast, because I kind of made them fit them personally. So like her bathroom is gonna be like a bit more girly, and like because Akira and Darling, they share their own bathroom, and it is smaller, so I went ahead and kept them both in so that you could like see the difference in how I designed them or decorated them. But I decided to wait until like towards the end to talk about where I've been and why I've been away and where I plan on taking the channel, because I feel like if you made it to this point, like you really wanted to, like you might want to stick around, you might want to subscribe and see future videos, see more future builds or let's plays. I'm not really sure what I plan on doing in the future. I just know I want to make videos. Yeah, and it's been kind of hard to lately because like I said, the last video I uploaded was in February, and that is because things at work, my real job, my only job, my full-time job, got like super hectic because I had a manager, my store manager. I was an assistant manager. I don't know, they were like really slacking in their job for like a while, and they ended up leaving, and I ended up getting a promotion to store manager, which meant I now work more hours than I did before. I work specifically, probably I'm supposed to work 48 hours, but I'm pretty sure I end up working much more than that. I'm pretty sure it's like close to like 60 if I really paid attention to how long I stay at work and stuff. And it is like more responsibility and stuff at work, and that's why I was kind of like debating if I wanted to continue making videos or not, or if I wanted to just play The Sims on my own free time, because The Sims has kind of like always been like an outlet. It's been like my safe space. It's been like my retreat. Like I know a lot of people, they say that like playing The Sims is almost like playing God in a way, because you're able to kind of cultivate your own perfect world if that's what you want to do, or if you want to have a chaotic world, you can do that if you want to. But even if you do make it chaotic, it's like your choice. You still have control over that. But when I wasn't making videos, I don't know how to explain it. Like it felt like almost like when I don't know if most people have experienced this feeling of walking into a room and not remembering why you walked in there, but knowing you needed to get something, but I feel like it was like more important than that. Like it was something, I was walking into a room forgetting what I went in that room for, and like I knew it was like super duper important. Like it was something important that I was forgetting, and it wasn't until like I sat down to record a video that I realized that something that I was forgetting was literally myself. Like I had been feeling like super disconnected from myself and what made me me, and I did not realize that until like I sat down to edit something, and I was like, oh, this is what I've been missing, this is what I've been craving. Didn't even like realize it until like I actually sat down to do it, and that made me realize that like I have to make videos. Like I absolutely love making videos and uploading content, and I think the reason why is because I think like it's a part of like my little child self who grew up as an only child and who loved The Sims, and who was honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I was a little weird kid. And as an adult, like maybe as a kid, like I kind of like shunned or thought it was bad to be weird, but like as an adult, I fully like accepted all of my weird qualities about myself, and I'm proud of those things now. But I feel like because like I grew up as like a quiet kid who would just like play The Sims all the time, I kind of like wish that I had someone who would let me talk about Sims to them 24/7, but I didn't have that. So this is kind of like my outlet for that. It's like a catharsis or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to make videos about The Sims. I'm actually super excited because I kind of want to do like all The Sims. Like there's so many things that I want to do in The Sims 4. I also want to maybe play Pair Lives on this channel. Also this couch right here, I just learned that you can like go and like adjust like how the couch is, kind of like how you do the counters. Like I had no idea. Like I was blown away when I figured this out, and I'm pretty sure this is something that pretty much everyone knew, but I didn't know until I stumbled upon it by accident. But I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. But But like I said, I do work over 48 hours a week, and so I can't say that I'm going to like stick to a schedule or anything like that. I'm going to try and upload as frequently as I can. I made like a promise to myself that I want to like work on something content related every single day, because like I said, I feel like making videos, whether it be like editing or making builds or doing let's plays, like I feel like that's like that's the way that like it keeps me sane. Like it really does. Like I was miserable when I was not making content, and now I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, like I just feel like so much more relieved now that this video is almost done and I'm going to upload it soon. And I'm also looking forward because now I get to work on something else that I've been wanting to work on, because I have so many different projects that I want to work on and it just seems like I don't like have enough time to like actually work on them the way that I want to. But yeah, I hope that you will stick around for when I eventually upload the next video. I do know that it definitely won't be like more than a month until the next upload. I am going to try to upload pretty frequently, and I think in order to do that, I have to kind of like do things the way that I want to do them. Like I feel like before, when I was uploading videos, I was kind of really getting into my head and like really getting into like the nitty-gritty of like, okay, what do I want to do versus what does the algorithm wants me to do? And I feel like in order to commit to uploading the videos that I want to make, like I have to just like commit to doing the videos that I want to do and not really care too much about what the algorithm wants, or even what the people who watch my videos or may potentially watch my videos, what they want. Like I have to like just do what I want to do and basically appeal to my little Whitney, my child self, and what she wants to upload pretty much. Which is why this video is like so long, because like a part of me was like, no, you have to like edit it down some more and make it into like 30 minutes, because you know no one has like a long enough attention span to sit through a whole video of me just rambling on and working on one single build. But another part of me was like, no, I don't want to take more time to edit this more than I have, because then that'll be even longer before I actually upload it, and I just want to get it uploaded. Like, and I also want to like show most of the progress that I put into the build itself, because like I feel like that's something that my little version of me, my little child self, wanted to show people, like show people my creativity, show people what I worked on for hours and hours and hours. And the thing about it is like my child self didn't feel like they had anyone who cared about that kind of thing, but I feel like as an adult I do have a platform and I can share my work on whatever platform that I want to, whether it be YouTube or some other platform. And even if it's just one person, that will like appease or make my child self happy, because at least one person cared about what I did. And I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I think I'm going to stop rambling here and let you see the build, like the finished product. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna try to figure out how to upload it on the gallery. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything onto the gallery. I do know with like apartments, not unless they changed it, I doubt that they changed it, but I know with apartments, you can't really like upload the apartments in San Myshuno onto the gallery. Like you have to make it into a room, so I might end up having to make the whole downstairs one giant room and upload it, and then the upstairs area I'm gonna have to like delete like some walls and make it into one giant room and upload it to the gallery. But either way, if you want this build for yourself, you will be able to get it. I will upload it onto the gallery before I upload this video. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you stick around for the next one.